Welcome back to Crossroads 307, where all things Wyoming come together. I'm Seth Frenthaway, and this episode is brought to you by Encore Green Environmental, the world's first midstream agriculture company. It's your water, Wyoming. Use it for good. That's Encore Green Environmental. Check us out at www.encoregreenenvironmental.com or reach out to them at 307-369-4444. If you have oil field produced water currently being disposed of from or on your property and you'd like to explore repurposing that into your agriculture operation, Encore Green Environmental is the only agriculture midstream company in the country that is a fully permitted process for doing just that. Give us a call and we'll get you going. That's Encore Green Environmental, 307-369-4444. Today we're talking to engineer Lou Harmon of Cheyenne. Lou has accomplished quite a feat for the state of Wyoming. He's the engineer who worked to create the first permit to land apply repurposed oil field byproduct water for agriculture operations. That permit has since been approved by Wyoming Department of Environmental Quality and has allowed opportunity to knock on the door of our agriculture community across the state. We caught up with Lou at the Crossroads to chat with him about it. Check it out. Okay, well, Lou, hey, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us.
Glad to be here.
Oh, great. So, for those of you who don't know in the audience, Lou Harmon is, how long have you been here? I mean, you've been here your whole life? I mean, I know you've been here a long time.
I've been in Wyoming for 31 years.
For 31 years. So, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, it's like a Wyoming native. This guy's been here a long time. Really been influential in different goings on in the state, particularly where environment comes into play, or DEQ, or those kind of things. So, wanted to bring Lou on the show because Lou's got a lot of experience in kind of taking a look at some of the issues that are going on around the state with regarding to water, some of it up in Menina Divide, some different areas, and some of these new procedures or methodologies of handling water. And Lou's been really influential in helping with that and very knowledgeable. So, Lou, tell us a little bit about your DEQ experience, or what kind of where you come from, a little bit about you, and we'll see how things go.
Okay, well, sure. I guess I'll go back to the beginning. I grew up in Sandhill Farm and Ranch in northeast Colorado, 2.5 miles from the neighbors. Oh. So even though I haven't lived in Wyoming all my life, that was a lot like Wyoming.
Yeah.
Our chief complaint was you guys keep leaving the fence down and the wind blew down there as hard as it does here.
Yeah.
But so from that farm ranch background, I wound up with a college degree in geological engineering and eventually found my way to Wyoming in about 1989, working for the Department of Environmental Quality, Water Quality Division. And while we covered the full range of water issues, I sort of migrated because of my orientation to where I was handling a lot of the permitting for the large feedlot livestock operations. The acronym is CAFO for Concentrated Animal Feeding Operation.
You're still doing that to some extent now, are you? Are you going to be officially retired soon?
No, retirement's nowhere.
Oh, okay.
In the vision. I've retired Perfect. 3 times and it's never worked.
Okay.
But
someone keeps calling you.
Yeah, someone keeps calling me.
Yeah.
I like working with the large livestock operations to help them manage their resources. And then when Encore Green approached me, I don't know, somebody probably had it in for me and they decided to give my name to Encore Green.
So real quick then, for those of you who don't know, Encore Green is the world's first midstream agriculture company, and it's actually one of the sponsors of the show. So we'll take a second and put a plug. So Encore Green is the first company to get a permitted pathway to repurpose byproduct water from the oil fields into agriculture, at least in the state of Wyoming, in the way that we've done it. I suppose there have been some land application permits in the past. I don't even know if they'd actually ever even given a permit for land application, but at least people were doing it in the CBM days. But not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but that's who Encore Green is, and check us out at encoregreen.com. And a lot of videos on there explains about the company. But anyway, so that's who they are. Encore Green approached you, and there you go.
So I found this exciting. I mean, Water Quality Division of the Department of Environmental Quality, there were two pathways to dispose of water. One is through the National Permit Discharge Elimination System. Towns that discharge to a river have to get that type of permit. Actually, the livestock operations, the CAFOs, have to have a permit through that program. The other program is what in DEQ we call the Chapter 3 program, a variety of a construction permit to get rid of wastewater, and that was always just had two primary considerations. Does it contaminate the surface water? Does it contaminate the groundwater, or have the potential to contaminate the groundwater? But it was looked at as it was called a land application permit, but it was looked at as disposal, and that was the mindset. Okay, you can dispose of it, just don't hurt anything.
Right.
And I find the Encore Green approach exciting because, tying back to my ag background, I grew up in short grass prairie and always thought if we had a little more water and it was tall grass prairie, it'd be prettier.
Right.
So using this produced water to grow better prairie grass, I like that idea.
Makes sense.
It just makes good sense.
Well, and I think that so part of the deal for the Encore Green methodology is putting the soil being the driver of the operation rather than a need to dispose of something. It's just a perspective shift, and of course nobody wanted to do damage to anything at any time, but that's what may have happened in some cases, and it just didn't work out the way we wanted. But we're looking back at it and saying let's put the soil being the driver of the operation, and to me that seems to be the main shift, is just getting the stewardship focused in the right direction, and once you do that, you sort of all the agriculture experience just sort of kind of kicks in and makes sense. So
yeah, exactly that's what attracted me
sure.
to this effort. Let's start out thinking, hey, let's grow a better crop of grass, grow a better Angus, grow a better antelope, whatever.
Yeah.
And then work backwards. What do we need to do to make this work? So we're still working under the Chapter 3 construction permit type program here, but we're bringing in a lot of the pieces and parts of the CAFO permit that comes through the discharge elimination system permit.
So real quick, for those of you that don't know, when you've explained the CAFO, but I think in general terms, I mean, most people would think of it, if you were in the ag community, as just a nutrient management program. Is that fair to say? The nutrient management programs are under CAFO. Just try to make it relatable to what are we actually talking about here, and then if you could give a little brief on that, and then help me understand how the CAFO system or the nutrient management programs are similar to what we've developed to be able to repurpose some of that water.
Okay, and this is actually comes from the Environmental Protection Agency at the national level. The CAFO, in Wyoming we call it WIPDs instead of National NPDS, or NPDS. In Wyoming we call it WIPDs because it's a better acronym, really.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The Wyoming Permitting Discharge Elimination System.
Right.
Somehow within that program they developed not only it's a very strange permit on that side, and I won't go into all the details, but as part of that they developed the idea of a nutrient management plan so that the manure that was being spread wouldn't be causing a lot of problems with, and this developed in areas of high precipitation.
Wouldn't be causing problems with the soil the
runoff causing. They were again looking at surface water.
I see.
In the eastern part of the United States and southeastern part of the United States, they've had problems with the runoff from fields fertilized with chicken manure, causing phosphorus
build up
to get into the streams and algal blooms and all that.
I see.
it's not really an issue here in Wyoming because we don't have
a
enough
lot of water.
rain,
Yeah.
we don't have enough water.
Sure. We'll take whatever water we can get.
So that's a little different, but it's a pretty sound concept. It's a sound scientific concept that starts, well, let's look at the crop you're growing and what it needs for nutrients, and then work backwards from that.
Okay. And then and everything else kind of builds or meets the parameters that's
Right.
needed. And this whole nutrient management program is what sort of sets standards and parameters around that type of practice.
Exactly.
Fair enough? Yeah. Okay.
And even water is not called a nutrient, but I mean, you can look at applying the water at the correct rate also.
And and at the right times and all that at least.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's where I think we're developing a new approach here, and also a very environmentally sound approach. I mean, with where we're going with it.
Give us a sense of the level of difficulty or the level of painstaking attention that's put into developing these new types of programs. I mean, I think sometimes, I did some real estate development before, and sometimes when you go out and you start seeing the tractors moving around and moving the dirt, you start thinking, well, man, that looks really easy to come about. It's just all of a sudden you just go hire this guy and you throw him out there. But what a lot of people don't see is how much effort it actually goes into trying to develop a program like this, and to have DEQ sign off on it is such a huge accomplishment. So give us a sense of and you know this from not just this experience, but years of all kinds of different permitting processes. Is it something that's easy to do, Lou?
Oh, it's not easy just because there's so many pieces and parts, and it's probably complicated by an abundance of caution when you're going to areas where nobody's gone before.
Yeah.
So that all comes in.
Yep.
My part of it is to make sure that we're not putting on so much water it has a chance to take contaminants into the groundwater or run off in the stream. We have Neil Ferringer, one of the region's leading agronomists, that helps us when it comes to growing the grass and building the soil.
Esquire.
Yeah.
Hansengraf Esquire. Yeah.
So it's quite a team of us that work on this, and we each have our own areas of expertise, I reckon, but on the other token, each of us have enough expertise in the other person's area that we make a good team. We don't spend a lot of time arguing because we understand how everybody works.
Sure. Yeah, and it seems like that's really the most difficult part of things like this is just getting everybody to work together. But it seems like that, especially when you have an effort where you're saying, man, there's a whole lot of water out there. We could really put it to use. Let's not throw it away. This whole thing makes such good sense. There's got to be a better way. It seems like that at least the mission has helped everybody want to participate, and that's really helped. Not all better roses all the time, but anyway. Well, we encourage everybody to take a look at encoregreen.com. Take a look at the conservation by design process. Would really encourage you to take a look and support what's going on. Let your friends and neighbors know. Give us any comments in the comment section and let us know your thoughts. Lou, thanks so much for coming on today. I really appreciate it. You've been a good guy to work with, and look forward to many more days to come.
I look forward to having some areas of growing cheatgrass start growing little blue stem, and maybe even a little bit of big blue stem, my favorite grass.
There you go. Thanks a lot, Lou.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Well, that's all for this episode of Crossroads 307. Check out our other interviews, ring the bell, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, and look for us at your favorite podcast platform. Leave your comments in the comments section, and check out our sponsor at EncoreGreenEnvironmental.com. We'll see you next time at the Crossroads.